guys doing? My name is Chris Matthews. I'm your relationship coach and licensed marriage and family therapist. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 phases of forgiveness. This video is probably going to be one of my most important videos that I've ever done, that you'll ever watch on this channel, because every couple that I've ever counseled has had an issue or concern that they brought in, and it usually stems around one or both partners hurting each other. And we're taught as kids to just say, I'm sorry. But in marriages and relationships, I'm sorry is not enough. So let me jump into these 5 phases to help you truly understand the process of forgiveness. I use the word phases because there's not a time frame for each of these events. The time frames can vary based on the offense itself, the couple's history, and personal factors. Let's jump into the first phase. First phase is the insight phase. Insight phase is when the hurting partner educates the offending partner on how their action was not good. The insight phase is critical because it sets the tone and foundation for what happened. And this phase is tough usually because the person that was hurt automatically in their mind believes or feels or thinks that the offensive partner should know why they're hurt. That is not the case. A forgiveness and apologies can't happen until there's a base understanding for what the offense was. The second phase, the acceptance phase. This phase has a close parallel to grief because both partners are coming to terms that they can hurt each other. This usually marks the beginning of the end of the honeymoon phase. When you first fall in love with your partner, it's really infatuation. You're attracted to each other, everything is going great. In that moment, they can do no wrong. Once there's an offense or a breach of trust or what have you that occurs, in that moment, you're brought down to reality. That's when the real relationship work starts. I always refer to a story between my wife and I had made a negative comment one time on the phone, and she was devastated. She was hurt. She hung the phone up on me. And by her hanging up, I call back and she doesn't pick up. I call back a second time, she picks up and she's quiet. In that moment, I had to educate my wife on the fact that I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make mistakes, and it'll be both of our jobs to correct those mistakes. Her role came by way of educating me on what happened. If I don't know what's happened, then I don't know how to fix it. So I told her, I said, hey, I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make mistakes. If you need space, that's fine. Let's learn how to properly give each other space and then set a time to reconvene so I have the opportunity to be forgiven. And she gave me that love to teach me what was wrong and then the opportunity to reconcile later on. The next phase, and this bleeds into the understanding phase. The hurt partner has to take a moment to understand what the offending partner was experiencing when they initiated the pain-provoking action. So, back to my story with my wife, in that moment of saying something hurtful, it was a failed attempt at trying to be funny. So it was a misunderstanding. Sometimes our partner may make a snarky comment or lash out just because they're tired or they're hungry or they haven't met their own needs first. Your partner may also lash out because they're frustrated or they're angry. Sometimes it may be because they're exhibiting old patterns of behavior that they brought into the relationship from past relationships or from their family of origin. So understanding why your partner made the attempt to hurt you is very important, but it's hard to do, especially when you're upset. The next phase, very important, the awareness phase, which also can be defined as the decision-making phase. In the awareness/decision-making phase, this is when the hurt partner makes a choice to either believe the offending partner will change or believes they believe they're incapable of change. Either way, the hurting partner has a decision to make regarding how they respond to the apology. So in this awareness phase, Usually in my work with infidelity or when there's a breach of trust, the partner that was hurt has to make a decision if the relationship is going to continue and it can get better or not. If you choose to not continue the relationship, or if you choose not to receive the apology, that's fine, because that means you understand ongoing the trust will not be rebuilt. And unfortunately in my work, I see that happen. A lot of times though, with good counseling and commitment, a partner can learn how to not make the same pain-provoking actions over and over again. But I will say this: when you hurt a person deeply, the scar is still left behind. That scar might not have the same feeling toward it. Meaning, if you scratch your knee or scrape your elbow as a kid, it may heal where it doesn't hurt at touch anymore, but you can still see the scar left behind. So I tell couples with deep level hurt, you can get past it, but it's still going to be part of your story. You can't white it out. In other words, we don't have that little device in the Men in Black movie to buzz yourself and just and not remember it anymore. So the memory doesn't have to be present in the forefront, but it will never dissolve. And you have to make that choice as the forgiving partner. Can you live knowing that action occurred? Can you live with that scar? The last phase is the protection phase. So if you make the choice to forgive your partner, continue the relationship, you now need to, in the protection phase, establish boundaries that hold the offending partner accountable. So that needs to be clear expectations to prevent the offense from happening over and over again. A story that comes to mind was when I was working with a couple. Female partner had been cheated on multiple times prior to therapy. And she went in the session and she said to her partner, "Hey, this is the last time. If you hurt me again, I'm not going to continue the relationship." So after a couple weeks of doing the work, I got a call from the female partner. And she said, "Hey, Chris, I just want to let you know you did a great job, but we will no longer be continuing counseling." And I inquired, I said, "Is everything okay? How can I get better?" She said, "Oh, no, you did fine." She said, "You did great. It was me. I had to come to the realization that he won't change, and it's up to me to accept the boundary of the fact that I don't want to be with someone that's going to cheat." And that boundary was for him, but it was also for her. And she had to be willing to embrace what she wanted and let that relationship go. And counseling helped her get there. Although they didn't stay together, she was able to then find another partner that did desire to respect the boundaries of monogamy. So just to review, the 5 phases of forgiveness: insight, acceptance, understanding, awareness, also called the decision phase, and then the protection phase. Those are the 5 phases of forgiveness. I hope this video was very helpful in giving you guys a layout or a template on how to forgive your partner and how to make an appropriate apology. My name is Chris Matthews. Once again, please subscribe to the channel, press the like button. I would love to read your comments, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the other side for the next video.
No, you can never go back. I gotta take it on the other side.